he advocates doing the best you can, he demands perfection. You pray with me. See, there's a subtle, so you'll have to study with this one. Get your Bible, study with me. All right, now. In every dispensation, God is advocating and demanding perfection. It's not just something in this dispensation, or since Pentecost, but in every dispensation. Turn to Leviticus chapter 22, verse 20. Leviticus, if you will. All right?
But whatsoever hath a blemish,
that
shall ye not offer.
Now, you follow me closely, because it's a subtle subject. And you find yourself confused, so God help us out. Like most people are. Come on with it.
But whatsoever hath a blemish,
that
shall ye not offer.
That ye shall not offer.
For it shall not be acceptable for you.
It won't be acceptable. Do you hear? Now, even though you're sacrificing and you're gloating over your religiosity and how stringent you are with your doctrine and your standards, but the Word of God said, wait a minute, even though you're offering sacrifices, even though you're loyal to your religion, but if you got a blemish, even though you offer sacrifices in abundance, but if it has a blemish, I won't accept it. So what they do, they have to examine their offerings and go all neat to see if you had a win or blemish or some kind of imperfection. You want to show you something? Look how meticulous they have to be in their searching, in their examination of them. The people not just, well, God understands. In fact, if you're uncareful, you find yourself just justifying anything and say, this is the best that I can do, despite God's demands. All right. What did he say?
But whatsoever hath a blemish,
all right,
that shall ye not offer.
Now be careful. Often here, be careful about your shouts and your amens and your exhortations and preaching and messages. Be careful, because it won't be accepted. Look all underneath it. Check for wins and knots and imperfections. He said, be careful. Take your time, because this is not just a routine. This is a critical examination here. Come on, children. Now here, and then two. Well, then you say, why isn't it advocated more strongly today than ever before? Well, because people are sensing their plight, and they feel hypocritical if they deal with it, or if they demand it. So God help us out here. All right, so you follow us here. We try to expedite it as much as possible because it's an inexhaustible subject. All right. Now, he said, now, this was a command. You understand? See, now, you need to get this study the Word of God. It's not an option. He said, walk before me and be thou perfect. That's an edict. That is a demand. Now, wait just a moment here. He said, now, walk before me. That means continuous. Not just one great big burst of inspiration, go to the altar and make some great claim, walk before me. He said, my eyes on you. Walk. Get the language here. Walk before me. Before me. Because, see, I'm the judge. I'm the one who will assess your devotion. I'm the one whose eyes you are before. So you walk before me. Now, you walk before your friend because they like you. They say that you are. You ain't. And if somebody that you don't like, you begin to look out every flaw that they might have. Walk before me. Aren't you glad that God is the judge? And those who are antagonistic towards you, and those who are envious and malicious before you, aren't you so glad? God to walk before me. Now, I'm unmistakable. Now, your friend might overlook them deliberately because they might enhance your testimony. Or somebody might do it because they don't want to embarrass you. Your husband might do it because you might not fix his meal right next time up. Or your wife may say that because she might delete her allowance to walk before me. Walk before me. This is the situation. Not one great big effort would walk before me consistently and be thou perfect. But before me, I got my eye on you. I got my eye on you. You'll disqualify yourself. Watch the spirit. See, you do it and say, and apologize with just a moment here. Now you can mar your perfection. Well, let me tell you something. Because it's so stringent, people will just say it's unfeasible. You just cannot be done. And you can content yourself with that. And that's why a false religion advocates that. Now here, turn to Hebrews chapter 6 quickly. We'll move on. All right? What are you?
What verse?
Hebrews 6, third verse number 1.
Therefore, leaving the principles of
what?
Of the doctrine of Christ.
Of the doctrine of Christ.
Let us go on unto perfection.
Wait just a moment. Perfection is not a journey, it's a destination. You understand?
Amen.
Many people content themselves that I'm working on it. I got a few more things that I got to deal with. And you said that for 20 years. And you know you're afraid to advocate it too strongly because people sense your imperfections. Some will accuse you we're unjust, and we understand that. But God knows about that. But see, but people maybe have exposed their spirit in conspicuous places. You understand? Let me show you something. Do you know in the homes, if people see manifest now, we're not talking, we're not going into all the detail. We're not talking about a lack of knowledge or that you might have perfect vision. You might call somebody John and Jack at a block away. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about no nitpicking here. We're talking about something that's absolute. We're not talking about somebody who does fault finding. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something that you must have. And as God sees it. We're looking through God's eyes. You understand? Right now. And many people have just given up on it. I can't do it. And go to despair. But don't do that. Because if God told you to go, you can't go. If God says it's feasible, then you can't accomplish it.
Amen.
Oh yes, you must. And you must. He said, Abraham, God would not give us an edict that we could not do. He would not give us a command that we cannot reach. He said, Abraham, walk before me. I want to use you. But you got to be perfect because you need to hold up people here. Now here, even in your home, and you notice down the line when he got ready to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, he said, how, are you praying with me? Can I hide this thing from Abraham? Amen. Seeing that he would command his household and command his children. Those under his auspices. So in other words, you got to have your house under control. Those who are under your auspices. I mean, when they're grown, they got their own house. But I mean, listen, that will mark your perfection. I know he'll guide his house. I know he'll command his house. That's what he said. That's strong language. I know Abraham will do it. So, but now here, what? Now, most people have those flaws. You won't let your son wear skin tight pants that show all his organs. And your daughter wears mini skirts and all these funny kind of things that show in front and hang down behind. They make TVs, they can hide them in the basement. You will command this house. You know, we don't do that here. We don't, well, Mama, everybody will do it with this moment here. Everybody don't run this house. I command my house. Well, then we might drive them away. Well, they're already driven away.
That's true, man.
Well, that's situation. Well, some people say about the same thing about church members. Well, you preach perfection, you're going to drive them away. Well, they've driven away already if they don't accept it. And many people refrain from doing it because of that fear. It's because it would be unacceptable among the people. God help us here. And when Jesus began to preach that, God said, many of them followed him no more. Well, Jesus, will you go also? This is the standard. And you take it or leave it. But you're going to be judged by it. You got to come before me in the judgment. All right now. I tried to get the high points here. Now, see now, it's a destination. It's obtainable. You can reach it. It's not something you just see. Many people pacify themselves by saying, well, I'm headed, I'm getting better, I'm doing better, I'm doing better. But they're constantly measuring, but never reaching a destination. Now, a lot of questions will have to be answered here. How do you know when you reach it? That's a significant question. How do you know when you reach it? Now, I'm going to show you something, but you pray and pray hard. But now, whatever we preach, however clear it is, you can dismiss it from your mind for whatever reason. But you'll be accountable for it. All right then. You might say, then how do you know? How do you go about it? See? Well, all of those questions are legitimate questions. Why? Because something of this magnitude, you need to understand it clearly, and we need to know that people are not pushing you beyond the mark. See, if that is the case, if you decide that, then you just throw it out the window and forget it. If you figure somebody that's going beyond the mark of being ridiculous. So that's why we're going to stay in the Word of God today. It's in the Word. Now, I say now, see, perfection is not a variable. You follow me? It's an absolute. You follow me? So here is the situation, and you pray. It's an absolute. So we've got to deal with it in that vein. All right, then. Now, the question might arise. Listen to me now. Now, it must be processed, but it's not indefinite. You follow me closely, because this is quite delicate. See, it has the Bible says go on to perfection. But now, many people take advantage of that. See, now, as I say, most religions advocate perfection of a kind. They say you are traveling in that direction, and when you get right, you fall off the tree. When you go right, fall off the tree, if you get it. So anyway, and so then they satisfy themselves. Well, I'm doing better. I'm growing. Wait, there's the growth. There's the growth. So this subject is so vast that it'd be impossible to cover every aspect of it in one message. Maybe in a series. But we're going to have points here that these 60 points. You understand? I hear. Because too many people have contented themselves knowing that they're not at the mark, even though they've been around for decades. Well, it doesn't take a decade. And not only that, see. Now, the question might arise then, if it's a necessity, well then, what about people who have not reached it and they die? Well, this is the situation. We'll get into that. And I don't want to omit that aspect of it. You follow me? Because I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I'm going to do it in a proper sequence here. All right now. I said it's a process. Well, anything you go through is a process. If you go to the military, when we were in Marine Corps, and you had to go through boot camp, which you almost rather be dead. They're processing you, because we're in a war here. And we got to process you and bring you to a certain mentality here. You can't fear death. You cannot be too conscientious here. You just follow commands. And whatever that involves. You understand? Now, all right. Now, you must be processed. Now, this is the delicate aspect of it here. Now, you must, James and the apostles, they made the process clear. They didn't leave it ambiguous. They made it clear, but, as I say, but you got to have an honest heart to accept it and to look into it. All right, well, here we go. All right, then now, turn to James, book of James. You follow us here? We done a whole long time. We know you got to travel, some of you and all this kind of thing, but please, take this with you. Come with it. James 1, verse number 2. Well, read the entire, not the entire chapter, but the first verses.
James, a servant of God,
James, a servant of God,
and of the Lord Jesus
and of the
Christ,
Lord Jesus Christ.
to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
Now you follow me. You ask the question in your heart, in your mind, in your so. You ask, how do we accomplish it? If it is feasible, how do we come by it? Well, we're not going to leave you out there. And James didn't either. Amen. Now, if it's a necessity for heaven, well then we can't just leave you hanging here and wandering and calculating. We got to be clear. Or heaven, come on with it.
My
brethren,
count it all joy
count it all joy.
when you fall into divers temptations.
Now you listen here. Now that is a grueling time. Falling into temptation, counting joy. Now, how in the world here you are hanging between heaven and hell, the devil trying to destroy you, and you gonna be joyful in temptations, counting joy? Well, sometimes you can't see this joy, but counting joy anyway. You can't see no delight in this, but counting joy. All right. Why? Now, this is why you count it joy, and how you must count it joy. Otherwise, you can't take it. Otherwise, you just cast it aside and say, well, it's impossible, so forget it. Now I'm going to show you. Here we go. All right, give us the process.
Knowing this,
that
the trying of your faith,
wait a moment. The trial of your faith,
worketh patience.
that's what the one you've got to go through, right? Your faith is being tried. And you don't have no option when I did pass it or miss it. You can't do that. You've been tried. You've been tried for a reason, to determine your worthiness. You understand? See, when God tries you, He's not trying to destroy you. He's trying to let you see yourself and your plight, so you know what to do to reach your goal.
Good word, man. Good word.
See, sometimes we get an attitude toward God. We're charging God for allowing all these things to come our way. All these negative situations, and all these gut-wrenching situations. If you're uncareful, you'll choose God. Oh Lord, why? Why did I have to go through all this? I didn't have all this stuff in the world. All kind of wild stuff. Loose talk. Come on with it.
Knowing this,
that
the trying of your faith,
this is the one. See, your faith must be at a workable level before you can please God. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. I got faith. No, the level of faith you got to have. Not just some wild testimony, I got faith, but there's a level of faith that you must have to please God according to the word of God. The Bible says, without faith, now, you know what? He didn't leave you there. Now there's a whole catalog of instances and miraculous happening that came to pass as a result of faith. And he said, in case you are in a quandary as to what it's all about, I'm going to itemize it for you. And you read it, how that Abraham at God's word just left, not knowing where he was going. God didn't give him a destination. He said, strike out and leave your people here. And no, you can't be sentimental here. Leave your people, leave everybody. And I'll tell you what it was. You just strike out. And I'll tell you, like a drill instructor. Left face, right face, to the rear. Amen. We put them halt. Come to the halt, tell you what to do for. You gave him too much at the opposite second. Halt. Come with it.
knowing this,
that
the trying of your faith,
listen, God is trying you because He has to prove you. You understand? You found to prove your worthiness. He wants to use you in some capacity. But for you to be used to the fullest, God got to try you and determine whether or not you are eligible. Many people go, but I want to do this, I want to get in the choir. Well, yeah, we understand that if you got a melodious voice, but it takes more than that. See, you can't sing in the Spirit without the Spirit. You might sing in a spirit. You can be an entertainer like those gospel groups like James Cleveland and those. You understand? And you might have a melodious voice and you might make people cry and shout. That's not what we're after. Come on with it.
Knowing this,
Knowing this,
that the trying of your faith,
the trying of God help us here. Now wait a minute here. Now I think we almost got to go over to something else here, but we don't have time. The trying of your faith. Well, what do you do when you flunk? You have tests in school, in grammar school, high school, college, graduate school. But why? They are trying to determine your capability, to see if you're worthy to receive a degree, a diploma, and work effectively in the field that you've chosen. Those tests, they're trying you to test your intellect and the sharpness of your perception. You understand? Why? Because you're representing the company. And they want somebody going to embarrass them because of that inability to relate. What? God tried Job because Job was representing him. And the devil challenged God. See, the devil, he's brazen. He's brazen. He'll challenge anybody. Wait a minute. God says, when he was going up and down in the world and walking to and fro in it, he said, have you considered my servant Job? Lord, you're going to risk the credibility of your kingdom here by acquiescing with the request of the devil? Well, the devil going by the way, that's your servant. Well, the devil's boasting. I tell you what, give it to me one-on-one. And I'll bring him back up in the body bag. I mean, he'll tell God, the devil is lost anyway, so he'll challenge God anyway. Insult God, whatever. He don't care, because he got nothing to lose. And God says, he's a perfect man. Perfect, here we go. Upright. Loveth righteous and eschews evil. And he was there. Oh God, what would have been the situation? The Bible would have been so deplete without Job. All through the Bible, way over almost to the end of the Bible, Job, the patience of Job. What God said, I'm going to prove to you that I have a man that the best you can throw at him, you can take him on the shield. And keep right in the midst of it. Now, well, it's too bad you have to search all over the world to find somebody like that. You're walking through and through the earth, trying to find somebody. And God said, wait a minute. What about Larry? No. What about Johnny? No. I did have somebody. What about John? No. What about Mary? No. Isn't it said that God has to scrape the bottom to find somebody to stand for him? They got confidence to stand on in all circumstances. Isn't it wonderful?
Well, help us all, brother.
Isn't it said that God has to go that far? That he can't just run in. Well, everybody can't be saved. Well, just get into that. No. Everybody talking about having going to heaven. So let me say, so I got to be very selective here. How embarrassing it would be to give him my best representative and he flunked. Are you eligible for God to use you as his representative?
Amen.
And the whole thing seemed to rise or fall as a result of the outcome of your standing? And the devil said, you see that group? They were standing one time, but I broke them. See that group? They were standing one time, but I broke them. Look at them now. See that individual? I remember when his convictions were intact and he wouldn't move an inch if it meant his life. Look at him now. See that individual, he preached the gospel. If he stood and he was known throughout the earth for his stand, look at him now. And I got a whole catalog of them. The devil standing for God. So, who is this Job? Give it to me. Put me in the arena with him one-on-one so that I don't have to deal with a whole lot of other things, and I'll bring him back in the body bag. Here, what? How selective would God have to be in this crowd this morning? Let me see. would feel bad if God looking for a representative and he had to overlook you. Lord, how be? No, you know yourself. No, I can't use you. Too much at stake. Too much at stake. Lord, give me somebody who represents what the Church of God is already all about. People have deviated so much that it's almost beyond recognition. So give me somebody who's standing four square on all of the principles of the Church of God.
Amen.
Despite the opposition from within and without. Show me somebody. Show me somebody. Show me somebody. Show me somebody. Some people standing in their own estimation, but I mean according to the Word of God. That brought deliverance and healings and gifts of the Holy Ghost in a real way. Show me somebody. Because I got somebody. God gonna preserve him somebody. Don't worry about that. You understand? He'll never be without a witness. Because the gates of hell won't prevail. You will do great damage, but he's not going to prevail. That won't be the case. And you can be the one that represents if you're willing to go through and let God perfect you to that extent. You can be the one. You can be the one. You can be the one. No, you want to be one thing special. You want to be one who gives a 15-minute testimony. You don't want to go through nothing and have to have a real testimony. All right, you praying with me? On me. Come on.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
It's not just inconsequential. It's not just something you're doing, something that you're randomly involving yourself in, but you're doing what?
Worketh patience.
Listen, the trial of your faith is working patient. Working patient. Listen to me now. It working patient. Now, just about most people that I meet regardless to it, they have an element of impatience. They won't call it, they call it by another name, but despite you call it what you want to call it, God labels it. Come on with it.
But let patience have her perfect
Let patience have her perfect work. Let patience complete. What else?
that ye may be perfect.
Now if you don't, you better watch it. Now if you don't do it, you won't be perfect. If you don't let God work with you and bring things your way, grievous things, grueling things, and let God work with you as long as you wish to. If you abort it, you abort your salvation. You'll never know what perfection is all about. See, many people go away with it, but when it's become too excruciating, they just put it aside and say, well, I'm doing good as they are. Others ain't not doing it. They seem to be doing all right. You can't judge yourself by other people. That's what we're the predicament we're in today. Come on with it.
But let patience have her perfect
Let
work.
patience have her perfect work. Let God get through with you. Stay in the furnace until God gets through with you. If you never turn the heat down. You started off shouting, but now you're doubting. Wait a minute, you want to know the process. We want to tell you how to get there, but we give you the route. We give you the route. There's no alternate route. Come on with it.
But let patience have her perfect
Let patience have a perfect work.
that ye may be entire, perfect and entire.
That is it. You might be what?
Perfect
Now, if you
and
don't let patience have a perfect work, you can't be perfect. Read it again. Read it again with emphasis. Come on.
But let patience have her perfect
Let
work.
patience, let God leave you in the furnace in the most painful situation, in the most trying situation that's imaginable. And don't give God a limit. Years ago when I first started, they thrust me in charge of a congregation. And well, they knew how I stood even though I was not even just starting in the ministry. And one lady says, well, Emerson, I want to let you know I got an affliction here. And if God don't heal me by Monday, I know who can. Doctors are walking. Go hold God hostage. By the time I give him a limitation, who are you? Putting God on probation. If you don't come to my rescue by this time, then I know somebody who will. Oh, Michael, put on the front. Put on the front of the call of God. You educated. But if God doesn't do this, amen, well, I know somebody who can. Because my friend did it, and they came out all right. We did this this morning, church. Now do you see why perfection is such a rarity? Where People will not let patience have a perfect work. God's trying to prove you. So you better have a testimony. A testimony is not something you get up and say, I think God is saving me, I think God is doing this, and giving me another. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
But let patience have her perfect work.
What?
But let patience have her perfect work.
Let patience have a perfect work. Let me stew until he's through. Come on.
That ye may be perfect.
Now, you cannot be perfect and entire. One thing means lacking. Lacking nothing. God wants you to be complete. Lacking nothing. You understand? Some people are doing 100 here and out of left field over on the other side. Because I want you to be perfect and entire. Not going boasting about your strong points. I've been taking the field in 25 years. Even I haven't touched a woman well. That's wonderful. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. That's clear. But now, but God wants you to be perfect and entire, wanting or lacking nothing. Who you know like that? Well, I know however and whoever and whether anybody, that's God's standard. That's God's standard. And every honest soul should be striving with all of their might. And not just talking, I'm seeking the Lord and I'm going on a 3-day fast. Well, that's wonderful. But there's a consistency. You understand what I mean? There's a determination. See, you got to be deterministic here. See what I mean? You can't just draw on a big bird and go on a 3-day fast. But you got to be consistent until you reach the destination. And you're not going to reach it otherwise. Read it again.
But let patience have her perfect
Let patience have a perfect work.
That ye may be perfect and entire.
That ye may be. Now, here's an indicator. That you may be. Your perfection is predicated on whether or not you let God get through with you. God works, and sometimes we go through with flying colors. But when another one comes, we're not ready for it. But see, let patience have a perfect work. Let God get finished with you. Let God make you a finished work. Will you come up with it again?
But let patience have her perfect work.
Let me get in a cage with a female tiger as a mate. The cage. And last longer than the lamb that was in there. And she never stopped talking. I just be there praying. I'd be like the old fellow I told you about the other day. They asked him, the old man, and he was doing well. And they said, John, said, what do you attribute your good health to? He said, well, I decided, my wife started fussing and going off. I said, go down in the woods and sit down. And I've lived an old, good old outdoor life. I attribute that to my so try some of you. Come on with it.
But let patience have her perfect work.
Let patience have a perfect work.
That ye may be perfect.
You may be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. So overemphasizing the positive is not what we know here. We want to be thorough. Let patience have a perfect work, that you might be perfect and entire, wanting and lacking nothing, that you might be a legitimate representative for God. And brother, we're getting a lot of invitations here. I was telling the saints here, a great big invitation here, what could be very consequential and revolutionary, if you will. The Church of God that we used to go to at that hour and whatnot, we came up and was very impressed. And so you want to take a stand. I've been trying to, you know, you can look for some strong opposition here, because they're letting go so far now. You might not be able to bring it back. You save your own self. You understand? All right, now here. Let God get finished with you, that you might be a representative. I said, but now those who are going with me, I want you to represent the message. We don't want no semi-cleavage showing. All these things hanging off your shoulder and all this kind of stuff. And all this gay, wild colors. Come on, are you? Please proceed.
But let patience have a perfect work.
That patience have a perfect work.
That ye may be perfect and entire.
Do you want that? Is that? Do you long for that? Is that your ambition? That I may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing, so I can be a real, true representative? Amen. And people say, you're doing well here, but not what about here? You're doing 100 over here, but what about over here?
Good word, brother. Good word. Good word.
Are you satisfied with being a partial saint?
Bless this morning.
Now you shouldn't. Now I admit you get tired of trying to stay in the spirit, or get in the spirit, I should say. And we're there, so we must stay. All right, listen. Good. I'm trying to keep my temper. Sometimes I just want to let it loose. Yeah, get it off my chest. You know, and then you do. You hear the situation, God help us out here. Now, see, people ignore this because there are so few people seeking it. And they think it's an option. Well, I know I'm not perfect. Well, that's a good, because confession is wonderful, but that doesn't solve your problem. Because you can't read it again.
But let patience have her perfect
let
work.
Let patience have a perfect work.
That ye may be perfect.
That ye may be perfect
and
entire, wanting nothing, lacking nothing. A complete man, a complete spiritual man. You follow me? Some people are so disproportionate. You know, even some athletes, they weigh maybe 250 or 300 pounds and whatnot, and they do some exploits. And they got big old burly legs and about a 32-inch waist, and about a 35-inch chest. Little chest, all this stuff, but now it's disproportionate. You follow me? They're getting that massive swallowing camels. You follow me? You got a lot of disproportionate things. They go over that strong one. I haven't done this in a long time. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. What else did you do or didn't do? All right,
let patience have a perfect
work.
That you may be perfect and entire.
Now you can be perfect and entire, but you got to let patience have a perfect work. Let God get through with it. You know what I'm saying? I got some weaknesses. Well, let God leave in there with it until you don't feel it anymore. How do you know when you can overcome it? When people talk to me, talk about me, I would just have to respond in kind. But now I can give it to God. What did he say when you said that to him? He didn't say nothing. He didn't even respond. And he didn't feel nothing on the inside rising up. See, some people don't externally respond, but they're bubbling on the inside. And they feel something riding up about here. Sometimes it don't come out, and sometimes it does. See, so everybody that's quiet and nice seemingly don't mean they got the victory. You should give them an open heart surgery. Put down in there and see what you find. What do you say?
But let patience have a perfect work.
All right.
That you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
You know, I was not raised up under this truth. When I got a little resume of what it was all about, I wanted everything that God had. And I might be on the altar every other time, every time. Seeking God in earnest. I had not known about fasting. And I started fasting. And maybe having headaches and getting weak at the end of the day. Because I'd never done it before. But I wanted it. And I didn't want to be short or along any line. Even though some of the older saints might not be doing it, that don't make me no difference. If God got it for me, I want it. Yeah. And not only that, I find in the Word of God, it's a necessity. Then there are those who know they're short and not even seeking it. They've dismissed the idea. They've ceased their quest. I might be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And I won't be insulted, aggravated, when a precious lady says, honey, your attitude is poor. you're disrespecting your husband. Or you say to your wife, when you talk to her, talk to her like she's a child. But I know myself, well, just a moment. Well, I hope so. But I hope you're not giving yourself an A plus. That you may be what? You may be what?
That you may be perfect and entire.
Perfect and entire.
Wanting nothing.
Wanting or lacking nothing. Listen, because I don't want you, nothing sticking out. Sometime, years ago, you know, it was a little different now. Well, you know, women used to be all dressed up with the purse, the gloves and the purse and hats, all that, doesn't it? All matched up. You come out and a little ragged slip hanging out like 4 inches. all this chartreuse purse and chartreuse dress and a pea green hat and her laces falling off of her slipper. You follow? You understand? You understand? See, all that perfection, she stayed before the mirror for days and for night and hell in order she had and it to be girl. We're going to come on. You going to pray with me just for a few moments? And we'll let you go to dinner. Because you must like know that you're supposed to be eating and drinking until Jesus comes. Well, I'll try to work with you here. All right. Give me 1 Thessalonians. Let me show you something. Now, we take too much as an option. Listen to the word of God. Read.
1 Thessalonians.
Yes, read.
For now we live.
Take the word of God. Don't say what Brother Hampton said. Read it for yourself. That's what we're doing. Come on.
1 Thessalonians 3:8.
Read, I believe that's what I'm saying.
For now we live.
Yes.
If ye stand fast in the Lord.
Stand fast in the Lord.
For what thanks can we render to God
What
again for
things
you?
can we do what?
Render to God again for you.
Render to God again for you.
For all the joy wherewith we joy.
Yes.
For your sakes before our God.
Come on with it.
Night and day. Praying.
Wait a minute. Night and day what?
Praying
Praying for you.
Praying exceedingly that we might see your face.
That we might do what?
Might see your face.
See your face.
And might perfect that which is lacking in your faith.
Now, all of this striving and prayer night and day, if you have a lack in your faith and then all of this is but the necessity. It's not an option. See, there's an imperfection in your faith. You're supposed to trust God for this, but not for that. You got to trust God. What are they saying? To fight your battle. This retaliatory spirit. If somebody demean you, then you're gonna dig up something on them. You know, I saw standing up in the brother's face. What about her? She had 3 abortions. The retaliation. See, retaliation is not necessarily hitting with your fist, but it's just getting back. It's even. That's what retaliation is all about. It's a spirit. You can retaliate in a very subtle way. Your wife says, you don't like it. You know, it's too bad everybody like that. You know, you back at her. You know, you like it too. See, it's subtle. That's what perfection is all about. See, you got to be perfect all together here. God help us out. Now here, you think, well, I've gotten all these years out of what you won't get by the moment. And you certainly won't get by the judgment. Come on with it.
Night and day.
Night and day.
Praying exceedingly.
Praying exceedingly. Wait a minute. Look at the effort you're putting forth. Why would they put forth such strenuous effort if it makes no difference? Come on with it.
That we might see your face.
Yeah.
And might perfect that which
we want to perfect it. We want to be a perfect. We want to be a whole man, a whole woman. We want to perfect that. We don't want to excuse it. We want to perfect it. We're not criticizing. We want to come and perfect it, help you out and come up there. But if you bend it, if you breaks, you got a problem on your hand. You know, listen to something. I was talking to an individual who knows about this narcotic stuff. As an individual used to come here, you know, and he went back and he got high again. And he said, what did he do? What explain the situation? And I didn't, they broke Judas. Peter denied Christ, but he didn't break. Follow me now. He begged him, but he didn't break. There's a difference. See, I know because Jesus, I'm afraid that your faith don't fail. If you break, you're in a mess. You follow me? There's a difference. There's a difference there. See, and if you broke, then you got to be welded back together. And we trust that the will hold. That's why they want to try to counsel people and try to do altar work. See, you're not just to know people's personal business and all that kind of stuff. But what? You got to know the extent of that problem. Not that you've got to be so detailed. You're not concerned about that. But I want to know some things so I'll know what actually happened and the extent of it and the effect of it. I think you went too far there. Honey, we remember my husband, by that time I feel good. We had a kind of a back and forth situation here. And it got a little more heated and accelerated. And nothing. And you know, but what happened? Well, you know, I just said that. Well, I didn't. I said it too loud. And that's the back to it. No, I called him a 3-letter word. Well, wait a minute, you didn't tell me the real issue. You broke. You ever said that since you were 19 years old? Some people start back, and call it a backslide, and the first day they start back cursing like they used to. I mean, they never use a step. You follow me? I mean, they still can do it accentuated. So and so and so. You know, they know how to act, they didn't know how to emphasize it. You follow me? They didn't do the thing. They didn't do the step. Well, you see this situation now. Now, if they revoke you, you have re-imbibed a habit. See, you might be, now you become habitual again. You know what that means, don't you? You broke. He broke you. You didn't just flunk this test, you broke. There's a difference here. Wait a minute. You just broke. How do you know? Because Christ couldn't put it back together. And guess what? When Christ saw they'd broken, he didn't bother anymore. Well, Lord, why don't you cast the devil out of you? What you want to do quickly? You better pray and pray hard. Some people mess around here and the devil break them, got malice and all this kind of mess in their heart and indignation, and they're not going to be corrected. They let them run his gamut. Well, how do you know? Follow the process. Supper being ended, the devil now having put it in the heart of Jews. Do it. Just a moment. That wasn't the end of it. And then as it progressed, I said, now I open the door. I'm going to get myself up. When Jesus gave the supper, that was his last opportunity for restoration. And he did not close the door. Jesus said, the one that I give the supper to, he's the person. He gave it to Judas. And after a while, Judas went out, and it was night. Run into darkness forever. You went out into the darkness of eternity. When God tried to rescue you, you get off and he make you aware of it, and he extended his hand to you, and you're so malicious and so angered and so filled with your own way that you reject it. He's trying to show you wrong when you're off. You leave it alone. And I will too. You don't want to justify it. Well, wait a moment here now. Try to, if somebody else did it, well, so what? If everybody does it, I don't want to be that way. What do you say now?
Night and day.
Yeah.
Praying exceedingly.
I'm praying night and day. I want you to be perfect. We got to be perfect. Your faith got to be there. You got to be there. It's got to be there. Then we might perfect that which is lacking. You got to lack there. You're doing wonderful, but you got to lack. 99 and a half won't do. I'm going to try to conclude this. All right. Now, how is perfection accomplished? How do we come by it? Unfailingly. All right? Give me Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22 quickly.
come unto Mount Zion.
You have come unto Mount Zion. Listen now. You want to know how it happened? I want to show you. And maybe you might want to hop on this. Come on with it.
But ye are come unto Mount Zion.
You have come unto Mount Zion.
And unto the city of the living God.
Unto the city of the living God.
The heavenly Jerusalem.
The heavenly Jerusalem. That's the church.
And to an innumerable company of angels.
An innumerable company of angels.
To the general assembly.
Wait a minute, you're going to be among a lot of angelic saints. Angels, they're going to be just like the angels in heaven, only they have not been transformed yet. And there'll be examples to you, and when you got examples, that will enhance your possibilities. Your possibilities. See, when you're around people with right spirits here, well then, that will challenge you. But if you're around people who are gossiping and talking and speculating and speaking evil that which you know not, well, you're going to get the same spirit they got. Come on with it.
To an innumerable company of angels.
An innumerable company of angels.
To the general assembly.
The general assembly.
And the church of the firstborn.
And the church of the firstborn.
Which are written in heaven.
Written in heaven.
And to God.
And to God.
The judge of all.
The judge of all.
And to the spirits of just men made perfect.
When a church is Mount Zion indeed, it perfects the spirit of people. Not just the extra, not having dresses right and the skirts and this and that and the other, and not just the national jewelry and makeup, but spirits. You follow me? We're going to conclude this shortly. Just read the latter portion of what you just read, please.
And to God, the judge of all.
To God, the judge of all.
And to the spirits of just men.
The spirit of just men.
Made perfect.
Made perfect. You've got to have the atmosphere. Has to be a challenge. The inspiration has to be there. See, I don't care what you preach, but without inspiration, it has a manifest. How can you testify witness to somebody and give them track if there's no inspiration behind it? It's null and void. The spirit now, but see, when your very life and your devotion and your whole demeanor, amen, there's a challenge to people. They'll impress them. And you know what they're going to say? And even your children, and even your relatives, and even your acquaintances. When I get saved, I want to be that sister so-and-so.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. We have 200 or 300 people, and you got to designate one individual. That person has conveyed something, not just talk to them. And you didn't say, but they have shown it in their spirit. Undeniably. I want to be like brother so-and-so. They trust God. I never seen them get mad, and I never seen them go off on people. I never seen them retaliated. I never seen them manifest in any kind of retaliatory spirit. I've seen them go all kinds of ways, and they turn the other cheek. Oh Lord, the spirits of just men made perfect. Mount Zion perfects your spirit. Now, I'm trying to conclude it here. Now, there's some external things you might do in a measure because of lack of understanding. You follow me? Follow me close. Come on, conclude it. See, we do not necessarily harp on external negativism because it's so much deeper than that. People can be impeccable in their dress and their adornment and they're 1,000 miles away from the kingdom. All right, the Muslims, those conservative Muslims, women show nothing but their faces. You know what kind of form she's got. Some of y'all would not know her because you all could be a seamstress. You know the definitions. 36, 22, 36. Without a tape measure. Just an observation. That's how close she looks. All right. Now, there won't be no arguments in the judgment. You'll argue with me, and demean me, and ignore me, and discredit me, but not in the judgment. Those argument days. Give me Hebrews, I want Proverbs 16:2. You follow me?
All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
He can justify anything. And that's why people criticize because they feel clean themselves. They criticize you because they feel guiltless. They figure that they're above that. See, if you can criticize somebody, that's pride. I must be above them if I can criticize them. If I'm in a position to criticize them, I must be above them. Way in your own eyes. I think that's the word of God. All the ways of a man, what?
Are clean in his own eyes.
Clean in his own eyes? What? Justified. When you say, you did it, but I, well, in your own eyes, you explain the way. But you condemn somebody else for the same thing you're doing. And you might be doing it even worse. You better pray. And then you're in real trouble. Come on with it.
All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
Come on with it.
But the Lord weigheth the spirits.
The Lord weigheth the spirit. See, there will be no mistake. See, God has a balance. And the weights are just. And you be arguing in your own. See, that people don't be arguing in the judgment. Lord, did I do this? Lord, did I do this? I didn't do it. No, the Bible says it. They'll be in the judgment still trying to justify themselves. When God already pronounced their eternal doom. And the Bible says God got a skill. And now there are some people who might not be up to par in every detail that we interpret it because of lack of knowledge, not because of rebellion. Now that's a different situation. You understand? But because they don't understand, and and they might only have the summer clothes might be transparent, and they've got to get their jacket. With straps and all this kind of stuff and skiing. All right. One more time.
All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
Yes.
But the Lord weigheth the spirits.
Angel Gabriel, bring my scale, please. I want to weigh these brothers here. This is righteousness. And this is their own ways. It's own way of scales. It didn't make it but there. God weighs your spirit. See, you testified and I got people shouting your testimony and your exhortation and all this kind of stuff and all your sensations of your experiences. God weighs your spirit. And if we got to make he do it unmistakably. And to convince you and to give you consolation, you're going to have a scale right there that you see. Here it is, right here. Right here. Well, Lord, look at the scale. Look at the scale. Well, Lord, I didn't get mad. Look at the scale. That's the old one over in red. What you mean? Your eyes flashing? Your teeth gritting? And all that kind of stuff. Your nose running? With me. And your thoughts are negative. Lord, I didn't mean to malign his name. Well, you didn't. How many times have you done it already? Lord, I didn't mean to diminish the confidence people got in her by going back into some things that they didn't know about. I didn't mean, well, oh, you didn't. You've done it before, you spread it all over. Read it again.
All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
All the ways of a man is clean in his own what?
In his own eyes.
In his own eyes. You just everything you do, but condemn everything somebody else do. Come on.
But the Lord weigheth the spirit.
The Lord weighs your spirit. See, now let me show you this. See, why would he weigh the spirit? See, a man's spirit is unmistakably him. See, that's what you're all about, the spirit. Something you might mistake, but you don't mistake a spirit. See, you don't get in the wrong spirit by mistake. That's you. That's what you're all about inside. And you don't manifest as a bad spirit, unmistakably. So God will weigh your spirit. Because your dress might not be altogether long enough. Maybe so, maybe not. Maybe a little inch shorter than it should be, but because of the all she had, and she was careful how she said so in this case, and she gave her money, so that's not what she wants. She wants to conform to the truth and to the proper standard for the spirit. But to get mad, she did that to satisfy something inside her. She retaliated because she wanted to try to pacify her wrath by getting back. That's unmistakable. She don't have to be taught that. That's what she is. So, because God is Holy Spirit, depart from me. Roll out just a moment. You'll get a scale. You see that? Well, that said deny. Well, that's right. That's right. That's right. But Lord, I fasted twice a week. Check your spirit. Lord, I only had one wife. Check your spirit. How do you treat her? But Lord, when they at the funeral, they give me so many accolades. That's what check your spirit. You should put a scale in everything. Now, children, but the Bible said that day the Lord, whatever the Lord preached, he didn't get no response. All those church people, 120 years, and they did it until the day Noah hit the Lord. Then we're going to be just like that, the Bible says. When the days of the Son of Man will be the same as the days of Noah. Now, I've never seen such an irresponsive group all everywhere you go anymore. They are almost immovable. God can thunder from heaven. God can perform miracles of judgment around us. They're still don't move on. We don't find striving anymore. Many old saints, when they got light on this gospel and what consecration was all about, and they would sense something in them. When I feel an unholy feeling, they didn't go out and commit adultery. They didn't think they akin to that. But when people came against me, Lord, I felt retaliatory. And I was wishing their demise. And Lord, I didn't overreact, but I could have. It was in me. And one more step I would have, because it was in me. And so I want to get rid of that spirit, Lord. Not just put it off, but I want to get rid of that spirit. You don't find many people now. One sister, when she sensed something about her spirit, when she learned this truth, she built her altar out back and prayed 3 hours a day until she killed it. Until she was perfect and complete. And the thing that was troubling her, she never saw it again. Was she willing to go as far as she had to go? Lord, give me victory, I'll die. Nothing else matters. That's the one help. God got it. We'll pray with you. Shall we stand? God, prayer room. Well, many times I do when I go home, you probably forget about it. Well, you're so impressed with it. The next meal that's the only thing that matters at the moment. And the way you cannot hold anyone else responsible for your spirit. Lord, you know what they did to me. Well, at this moment, I'm going to be responsible for your spirit, not somebody else. Allow them to do it. And my children young, we're at Camp Newton, the duck pond out behind the little crude motel we live in. And the children were ready for church. One of the brother's son was out there playing with my son and pushed him out. He came after the rest of them. And so dressed all up. And so he went in crying. What happened to you? I'm gonna give you a whipping. He said, well, Lyle pushed me in water. Then you shouldn't have been so close. You shouldn't have been so close to allow him to do that. You shouldn't allow them to provoke you to that extent. You shouldn't allow them to push you until you became retaliatory because you felt it coming. I give you a premonition. You read that song, Search Me, O God, and Try Mine. Well, today, how did it go? Search me, O God. You don't have to